This video is going to look at how to do some basic Sunpath and shadow study animations inside of InfWorks. On the screen here is my model on my site. Been creating some previous videos, and I'm going to go to create and conduct infrastructure design presentations. And down the left hand side here we've got the storyboard creator, and these are some that I've created before. I'm just going to delete those because they're very quick and easy to create, so don't worry too much about that. I'm going to go to my top view, and what I want to do to start with is create like a little Sunpath animation. So there's a lot of built-in tools here that get you up and running really fast, and this one here is add a date and time animation. So I'm just going to do that and hit play, and you see instantly it's done a little Sunpath animation from 7 AM in the morning till 7 at night, but it was a little bit fast. So I can go over here to duration and crank it up to say 12 seconds and then hit play, and now we have a slower animation showing it running at a more respectable time. The other thing I want to do is perhaps look at adjusting where I want the animation to be. So I can use my navigation tools here just to move across a little bit, maybe just angle it down a little bit, and then just go reset, and that will update the view. I can also look at the date and time of year. So maybe I want it in winter, where it's going to give me longer shadows at those times. So maybe in January or February, I can then run that animation and we get that running there. We can also add a text overlay. So you can add a new title or a new caption. So if I go and add a caption, it's going to add it to our little storyboard tool here. And I'm going to bring that down to here, and when we go back, take the slider back, you'll see it appear. So there it is, there's my caption. And I want this caption to say something about the Sunpath. So we could say Feb Sunpath study 7 AM to 7 PM. And there we have it. We could also adjust that text. So if you don't like the text, of course, you can choose different text styles here, and there's a few other tools in there how you can adjust how you want it to look, top and center. Maybe I want mine to be at the top right, and we can even adjust transparency and sizes and all that. So that's the simple way of setting it up. And the last thing I'm going to do here is just make sure that this is running for the same length of time as the actual animation. So I'll just crank that up to 12, hit play to test it. And now we have our Feb Sunpath study from 7 AM to 7 PM, animated 12 seconds of footage. And when we're ready, we can then hit, so I'm just going to pause that now. We can then hit our record tool and send it out as, say, a Windows Media video or an MJPEG, and then send it to the particular location you want. So in this case, I want to throw this into my InfWorks folder and call it Sunpath. Save it out as the AVI, and you can set the resolution or even just use the viewport resolution, and you can also adjust the frames per second. So just go record, and this will now record it out incredibly fast. Because InfWorks is built on a gaming engine, you don't need to actually render out the frames. It's just extracting out the frames very quickly, compiling them into the AVI animation, compressing them, and then giving us a video at the end. So instead of having to wait hours or days to do high-end renders with thousands of trees, with lots of lighting, lots of reflections, animated components, like in another application, inside of InfWorks you can do this incredibly fast. You don't need to be an expert. You don't need to have a really fast PC. It will just do it here, as you're seeing on the screen, all in real time, under a minute to create an animation. So that's going to tell us it's going to be done in a second, and we're done. We've got an animation. So now if I go to that particular folder and we put it inside of our InfoWorks recording here, and here we have our Sunpath animation, and I will play it in VLC Media Player. And here we have it. So this is the one straight off the screen resolution. So it's just a little bit pixelated here, and also depends on the player as well. So if I go and open that in Windows Media Player, it does come out a little bit better, but for some reason my Windows Media Player does this. So that's why I use VLC Media Player. You could use other players as well, maybe like the QuickTime, but I just find, yeah, Windows VLC Media Player plays everything, and you can make adjustments to those resolutions to get it looking sharper. But that's Sunpath Animation, done within minutes.